Hello everybody and welcome back to Cities Skylines 2, where last episode we just made a bunch of corrections to our highways over here, and I would like to actually extend out this whole area over here, and we should be able to do that reasonably quickly. So we would just grab here, right, and we would just slide this guy at, I want to snap, for now, only to angle. So somewhere around here or so. There we go. That should do the trick. And then we would turn snapping back on here, and we should be able to just snap this directly in here at 90 degrees there. How's that look? Yeah, that looks right. Phenomenal. There is a wee bit of an issue here, so we could definitely deal with this height situation. I would like this to be attached to the ground, no bridge. So let's see if we can just bring it in over here and just have it attached like this and then come up over here. That's giving slope too steep, so we might need to connect it up over this way. That's still slope too steep. Okay, that is unfortunate. It really wants to put that bridge in. Okay, so we're going to have to rework this slope over here. It is a significant slope, no doubt about that. So let's just do something a little bit more like that and even this out. Okay, so we would just run this guy straight on up over here like so-ish. I don't know, that doesn't feel exactly right here. But okay, it'll do for now. So that's fine. That gets us this section, right? And now what we want to do is we want to just extend out everything out over here at exactly 180 degrees, straight out to the city limit. We've got this same sort of issue going on here, which is actually unsurprising. I'm actually a little surprised that it wasn't worse than that, because what I want to do here is I want to soften this out and just smooth that back out. There we go. So something along the lines of that, and then we reconnect this guy right on in here. That should do the trick right there. We can see we've still got some issues here. What I want to do then is I want to think about this hill overall. I think we're going to run into significant issues on this hill. Looking at the lay of it, I think that all we need to do is simply put in a little bit of slopage down over here, right? So this would just slope down a bit like so. And just move that over to here. Now that's, of course, not the most picturesque situation, but it will help matters a bit, and we can then soften that back out. And that'll just add in a little bit more land volume out over here. Okay, so something along the lines of that. Then we can extend this back out through here. We're still running into issues here. And that's actually not surprising, because this did manage to get all the way back down over here. Okay. We'll just toss in a little bit more extra land throughout here and just continue to soften that. That should be a little bit better. Okay. So that's just essentially making this slope less steep, evening it out a little bit. This is substantially better. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, next up we're going to extend this road directly on over. This gives us overlapping items here, and I'd like to just lock to the angle. Thank you very much. So we'll just bring that in out over here. And this is carving in over here, but that's not surprising. So for right now, that will do. Next up, we are going to get this next road done, and that'll go in right on over here. That's giving overlapping items as well, so we'll just put that in like so. There we go. And then this road. Is that going to give overlapping items? It is, but that's fine. So it would be right here. That does look approximately correct. Okay. And then we'd need to get this one. So we're actually kind of close to getting this all done over here, right? Doing it this way is going to batch this significantly, and I'm just wondering about this angling. We'll just take it into here for now, and I want to just double check that. Yeah, it looks okay. If it's not okay, we'll find out here. It is okay. This is fine. Beautiful. So no major issues there. And then this guy gets brought over to the city limits. That is okay. Cool. Now we can run our vertical roads. And do we want to run them all the way up here? All the way up to the city limits? I mean, we're going to have some substantial increase in elevation. No doubt about that. That could cause us some issues. We could run it all the way up to here. If we end up doing that, please snap only to angles. Thank you very much. If we do end up doing that, what does this look like? Okay. That's not too bad, but I think for now we're not going to expand up here. That is going to be a significant time investment to get that done. So I think for the moment, all we need to do is we need to expand these roads up like this. So we get that one in, and then it'll be this one. That's overlapping items. Fair enough. So that's going to go... Yeah, that's crooked there for sure. About here? Yeah, about there. So that'll do. And then we'll need to bring this road up. I doubt we can make it all the way to here without overlapping items. Yeah, we've got overlapping items here. So that's fine. Let's find our actual angling here. Classical. Unfortunately, these are kind of overwriting each other. So we need to be about here. Sitting in front of a sheet of cool. Blank. And then we've got overlapping items here due to a potential bridge, it looks like. But if we put that in like that, and then this up over here, no bridge comes in. I like it. That'll do. Next up will be this batch of roads, and we'll just look to connect that here, and then up here, ideally. That looks kind of crooked. This is more like it. Okay. Yeah, that'll do. So then we'll bring this guy up to here. Ish. That's definitely crooked there. So it's going to end up being here. Although it feels a little close. But I guess it's okay. And then the next road would be this guy. Right about there. Yes, that looks correct. And right about there looks approximately correct, but we do have an overlapping item here. So that's going to end up being here. Like that. Beautiful. Next up is this road, which would go up to about here, and then up to about here. That's an overlapping item, though. So about here, and then about here. Once again, this feels a little too close together, but we would have to rework a significant portion if we wanted to do that, and I'm not going to do that. So this will go to here, and then up to an overlapping item here. Yeah, fair enough. That's going to end up being about here. And now this is not too close together, so I guess we are compensating for it. So that's absolutely fine. This is going to end up going about here or so. Seems approximately correct, but this might be more correct here. I don't know. This is not exactly snapped. Okay, snap it here. And then this is going to be overlapping items here. Okay, fair enough. Let's just see about taking this guy up to here. Yeah, no, that's going to be a bit of a problem right through here. And we can see exactly why. There are some significant issues with the roadage through here. So I'm going to take these sections of road out. We've got some height issues here, but we can definitely work through those pretty quickly. So this would just be here. And then these would come through like so. And it's just fine. Okay, there we go. No problem there. Next up would be this highway, but we want to bring this road up to about here, and then up to about here. Beautiful. And then this road would go, in theory, about here. and then about here. Perfect. And then one final road here. So this guy would end up being here, and moment of truth. Okay, we're going to run into some height issues here. Overlapping items. Okay, we'll do this one block at a time. One here, slope too steep. Okay, so we're going to take out this crossroad here. In fact, I'm going to take all of that out, and we are going to soften this out over here a little bit. But I think that our biggest problem here is that this section of road curves the way it does. So I think that what we want to do here, and this is the section of road we previously worked on, but what we want to do here, I think, is just smooth that out a little bit and rebuild that at a slightly different grade. Ah. These roads are also slightly problematic here. Okay, so we'll get those out of there. This is the area where it becomes awkward, right? So that's reasonably fine. We get this guy up here. We build this cross street over here. That's no problem. And then can we get this rebuilt here? That's still building a road there. This is probably going to be sloped too steep here. Yes. I'm not shocked about that. Okay. So we're going to take these sections out. We're going to grab this altitude and create a slope there. Then we're going to grab this altitude and create a slope there. Then we can run this road through. So that would go up here. That's still sloped too steep. That actually mildly surprises me. But we can, wait, we can build it here? Okay. But then this is sloped too steep. Ah, I see what it did. It cut into the hill that we put in. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this section out here, and we're going to redo these slopes a bit further out. So we're going to do it from here down to here, and then from here down to here. And I'm also going to toss in a little bit here and a little bit on this side, but I want to be able to smooth this side out, right? So that's going to be a little bit awkward, but we'll do it over here as well. About like that. Okay, let's see how this goes now if we build this up to here. That works just fine at a 14% grade. This works just fine at about the same 14% grade. Now, this is probably... Actually, it's fine. But I'm not going to build these cross streets just yet. I want to smooth out this terrain a little bit first. And just make it a little bit friendlier for our cross streets. Okay. Now, this is going to cut in over here, I'm pretty sure. Actually, that's not bad. We'll allow it. So this is just fine now? It appears to just be fine now. Okay, magnificent. We still do need some connections up over here, and these are very steep. So we probably need to do the same thing over here. This is going to end up being a highway, and the on-ramps are going to be very interesting here. To that point, we might want to preempt the on-ramps a little bit. Maybe. What do we got going on here? I think this is just slightly off here. I'm going to take this guy out, and we're going to rebuild it. Okay. And now we have a bridge up here. That's not ideal, but we can fix the terrain here by grabbing this height, and then... Actually, I wanted to slope terrain tool. Just doing that. Then we should be able to build our road up with no bridge. Beautiful. Then we can soften out this terrain. And I think we're going to tackle the whole the whole on-off ramp situation when we get there. For now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to carve in our positions for these roads. And this is almost certainly going to be problematic, and significantly so. Let's see here. Something is not right here. We need to be going from here down. There we go. Apparently, we did not have quite the right position selected. Okay. So now we're going to bring these roads in, and yes, it's going to be awkward with the on-off ramps. No doubt about that. But we'll see how that ends up going. It's certainly going to be interesting. I'm not exactly looking forward to that, but we'll get there. So now we're just going to soften all of this out. Remove the evidence of the terraforming as much as possible. And that'll do. I'm not necessarily okay with this, like, really steep decline here. So I'm just going to smooth that out. And let's try bringing this guy over to here. And then this guy over to here. That is significantly better for that intersection. Okay, now we're going to have to do highways. And this is where it's going to get interesting. So let's start with the tough one. Let's just get this as out of the way as we can. We're going to need it. So I'm going to grab this position, and we're just going to snap to the angle. We'll drop a pillar here, 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 here. Also a pillar over here. Okay, only a few more of these to go in theory. That's an overlapping item there. So what we have here is a significant increase in the ground underneath. So I'm going to take our elevation step up to 11.5 meters. And we're going to see about bringing this over and dropping it here. Okay. So the increased elevation has allowed us to make our way over. And we didn't increase it by all that much. So that looks okay for now. The on-off ramps are going to be the spicy bit here. So let's see how this ends up going. We might have reasonable luck with them over here, but I do expect them to get obnoxious once we get a little further over. So it's going to end up being something kind of like that. No left turn allowed here. Phenomenal. Then we're going to need on-ramps. Let's see here. Yeah, we're going to need the on-ramp here. So that's going to end up going about here and moving in, and the off-ramp is going to go about here-ish. It's a little too far out. That's not the right angle, but whatever. That's all sloped too steep there. So we're going to have to move this a little bit further out. Or we do like we've done before, and that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to grab the level terrain tool, we're going to grab this altitude, and then we're going to build our section of road over in a temporary capacity. Then we're going to get our on-ramp done. So that's going to be coming out over here, like that. Then we're going to take out this section of road, smooth out the terrain, and maybe even have a slope terrain tool, like that. Can we just connect in over here with the slope terrain tool? Yes, we can. So we can do that, and then we can soften out these areas. Okay, beautiful. That'll do. Next up, of course, is our off-ramps up over here. So that is going to be an off-ramp going like this, and then an on-ramp coming up like that. That'll do. Oh, did we get our signs over here? No, we did not. Okay, something along the lines of that. No left turn here or here. Beautiful. Okay, we've got a bunch more of these to do, and they are probably only going to get more challenging. Although this round was not bad. Not bad at all. I like it. What do we got going on up here? This is where it's going to potentially start to get spicy. Okay. Yeah, this is going to get very spicy up over this way. So we can see just how much the terrain dips down over here.
Now from the musical page to the literary.
This works.
Here we have some
surprisingly. That slope too steep, but we can put it in here.
My dear.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to take this section out and move this guy back a bit and have it be a bit more like that. Okay, I mean, that wasn't bad considering what we've got going on there. We'll see what the rest of these end up looking like. It's probably going to be on the grim side. Let's bring this guy up and this guy in. That's not bad, actually.
Though I do thank you for the honor.
I mean, I don't love the cornering there, but it's fine. It's functional. It'll do the trick. No left turn here.
As a traveler,
okay.
From my
so then
homeland,
off ramps are going to go here.
To hear a tune that speaks to the anguish of my
and that's going to end up coming out over this direction. That actually works. It was slope too steep there for a moment. I absolutely expect slope too steep here. That's only a 14.8% grade.
Poets, chaps, eh? Here's a tune just for you, and I do hope it provides your
interesting. 13% grade is coming up with slope too steep because of this area here. So here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to take out this section of highway. We're going to have to take this out. We're going to have to grab our level terrain tool, bring this guy out like so, and then rebuild the section of highway. And that, of course, had to be taken out because it was going to be too low. In fact, we should probably take all of this out and just form the highway to the terrain as it sits right now. So that's going to be coming up over this direction, right? But what we really need here is this road section first. So this has to come across to about here. Then we need our section of highway. And that's going to come over to about here and then go over and end up right at the city limits, like that. Then we need to get our on-ramp, which is going to come from here. Curve tool, please. It's going to come from here and end up here, like that. Then we bulldoze this section of road, and we use the slope terrain tool to create a slope going down to here. That's inauspicious. We'll see if this is slope too steep. It might be. It is. Okay. So we're going to need to take out this section of road, and that's absolutely fine. We want this altitude. So we're going to grab from here and have that slope be like that. Now we should be able to build up our road through here. That's still slope too steep. Intriguing. I guess I'm not shocked about that, looking at the lay of the land right here. So that means we take out this section of road too. This is right at the end, though, so this is not actually a significant problem, but that does mean that we need a lot more land here. Okay, so now we take up this guy, and we put it right there. Perfect. Then we're going to use the Soften Terrain tool, cleaning up all of this. There we go. And now the question is, how's that going to go for these horizontal runs? If we bring this in here, it's not exactly at the 90-degree marker. If we end up bringing this guy in here, I see that there's a bridge there. So I think we're going to end up having to take back this section of road as well. And we're going to have to build slopes from here to here. And then from here to here, like that. And then out over this way, it can probably just remain the way that it is. But this will have to come in here. And then this guy is going to have to come in here. That's giving us a slope too steep, but specifically there. Interesting. So if we were to bring this in to about here, right? Having this guy come out over here gives us slope too steep, but we could connect it here. This is at a slight angle, so this isn't exactly where we want this road to end up being. But it does work, and we can kind of correct it down this way. But no, I don't like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this road through here, like that. Then I'm going to try connecting down here, like so. That gives a bridge here and a slope too steep. Okay, so we're going to need this height to be higher. So what we need to do here is we need to grab this height, and we need to add additional altitude here. Then we need to grab this height and make sure that this is nice and smoothed out here, like this. And then from here, we need to see if we can run a connection down to here. That gives functioning, but it's not exactly what we want. So we're going to need to rerun this slope a bit. Maybe a little bit more height here, but it should be okay-ish. So next, I want to run this road. Snap only to angle, please. Okay, so here. Gotcha. Okay, there we go. Then I want to run this road southward. That's technically at a minor angle there, but I think that it does fix itself. I'm not super happy with it, though. I'm going to take all of this out and rebuild this section of road. I probably shouldn't, but let's put this here and then here. Is this bridging over here? Kind of. Kind of. So I'm going to grab this height here, and we're going to put in this slope. From up here, please. Okay. Now that's no longer bridging. Hi, pause menu. And we are going to then build this section of road out to the city limits. But this will need to get softened first, it looks like. Okay, fair enough. Soften tool. Clean that up a bit. And then run this guy out. Yes. Not quite perfect over here. I want to rebuild this now that we've changed the terraformation. Much better. Much, much better on that front. Then we need to run this road southward. And that ends up being here. And then this road would need to run southward, but this needs some terraformation. Let's try just softening this out and seeing if that's enough. I'm hopeful, but we'll see. Okay. Looks decent. Snap only to angle for right now. Yes. Okay. That is magnificent. This was a fairly complicated terraforming area to handle, but I feel like we're definitely getting there. So at this point, we still need to do our on-off ramp over here since we got rid of that, right? And I would like to bring this out like over here and in like over here. No problem. Phenomenal. No left turn here, no left turn here. Okay, that'll do the trick. We have more highways to extend, but that should be the hard part complete. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to have all of these meta blocks ready to go. They are going to be extraordinarily effective at how quickly we can build them. I don't think we'll have significant issues in any of these highway locations. Maybe a little bit down over here, but honestly, I think we've got a technique figured out for getting this done, so I like it. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.